Thank goodness we are just over 2 hours away. And while the Eagles won Super Bowl 52, the title defense is Super Bowl 59. It just feels different. They're a big favorite to get off to a quick start. Philly favored by 8.5 points, which is the highest for a defending champ in their opener since the Bucs in 2021. And the Cowboys enter the game just a week after trading arguably their best player in Micah Parsons. Now, a closer look at this Eagles roster. It's going to look very similar to the Super Bowl winning roster against the Chiefs in New Orleans. 10 of the 11 offensive players who started last year's Super Bowl are back. The only guy who's gone is the guard, Mekhi Becton, who signed with the Chargers. And as promised, it's great to have the two-time Super Bowl champ, Booger McFarland, here with us. Boog, you've been here before. You understand. Yeah. You won a Super Bowl with the Bucs. You won a Super Bowl with the Colts. Coming back after the celebration and feeling good. Yeah. What stands in the Eagles' way here and trying to get on track and try to repeat this year?
Well, first of all, how good is it to have football back?
It's great.
It's amazing, Kev. The first thing you have to do is forget about last year. Like, last year's open, and it sounds comical, but you got to put it in the past and not think about it. Number one, every team has to establish their identity. What's going to be the identity of this team? Some may think it's going to be Jalen Hurts. It may be A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley. What's going to be the identity of the 2025 Eagles? You have to establish that tonight, because what happened last year doesn't carry over to this year. This is a team that has the best offensive line in football. They want to run the football. So tonight, it's important that they come out, establish Saquon Barkley, establish the run, and dictate to the Cowboys how they want to play. Because we know they want to be physical, they want to own the line of scrimmage, and that starts tonight.
And by the way, we've heard it for a week now, coming from the Cowboys brass, their run defense isn't that great. And they traded their best player just a week ago, Micah Parsons, shocking the NFL. The impact on something like that, especially losing your best defensive player, maybe one of the best players in the entire league, no longer on this field, adding that juice. How's that going to play out for the Cowboys tonight on this field?
They're not going to be better, Kev. And I played alongside great players. Warren Sapp, Derrick Brooks, Simeon Rice. As a role player, I felt better when my stars were on the field with me. That star's not going to be there. He's an impact player. He's not going to be there. So who's going to step up tonight for the Dallas Cowboys? Jerry can say whatever he want to say. It's going to be felt tonight. It's going to be felt going forward, because when you look around that field and it's time to make a play, who's going to make that play? I realize Kenny Clark's coming open. He's going to be a dynamic player, but who's going to be the game changer? Who do I have to game plan for? I think the Cowboys have to find that person for this season, because Micah Parsons is gone and somebody else has to step up. But make no mistake about it. It's a lonely feeling out there when you got 11 role players and no star.
Yep, and they have a new defensive coordinator in Matt Eberflus coming from the Bears, and we will see how that has an impact here specifically as we get you ready for week one and night one of the NFL. Let's go over to the PTI guys, Tony and Mike, with much more in tonight's Bone.
All right, Wilbon, what is the most interesting storyline in tonight's game between Dallas and Philadelphia?
There's no variety of storylines to me. There's one. How badly will the Cowboys get their butts whipped?
Right.
That's it. The Cowboys shouldn't even be in this game. There are half dozen other teams. There are half dozen other teams in the NFC you could have put in this game, starting with the Commanders. But the continual pumping up of the Cowboys makes it like a beauty pageant, where now it's just, what can we do to get more eyeballs instead of, let's put a great matchup out there. Because the Cowboys aren't that. I'm not sure they would have been that before the trade. And now since the trade, what are we looking for? The storyline is, can they stop the run? You can bite on that if you want. I'm looking for Cowboys to get trashed.
Look, I agree with you that Philadelphia is a better team. Philadelphia's been to the Super Bowl 2 of the last 3 years, and they won it last year. Philadelphia returns 10 offensive linemen. They are still allowed to do the tush-push. They're better in every way than Dallas. But if you're asking me what is a storyline that appeals to me, it's this. It's about Dak Prescott. Last year, Dak Prescott missed 9 games, 9 regular season games. And he missed the 2 games against Philadelphia where they lost. I want you to hear these scores. 34-6 and 41-7. So he wasn't out there. They pay him a lot of money.
$60 million.
He's got a really good track record in the regular season, 76 and 46. He's 9-4 against the Eagles. So what I'd like to see is he a difference maker in a situation like this? That is intriguing.
Okay, but how many points is Dak going to have to hang on the Eagles to win that game? What's it? Give me an over. Give me a number.
24, 28, 30, something like that.
How about 35?
I don't know.
You believe that Dallas's defense can come anywhere close to stopping the Eagles? I don't.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying that
so Dak can play really well and justify the $60 million, and he's got CD Lamb, he's got Pickens, he's got all that.
And what if he won it? And what if he won it?
Then Jerry will be happy. He'll have another documentary, and we will just spend weeks pumping the Cowboys full of air.
Will you? I will. Will you? Okay.
That's it. We're done.
Jets on Sunday. Lots of excitement over Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, but right now they're looking at a big donut hole on their defensive line, and that's because All-Pro defensive tackle Cam Hayward is not in pads for Thursday's practice. He holds in for a new contract. For much more, we bring in the guy. Happy opening day, Adam Schefter. Give us some updates on guys whose status for Sunday is still up in the air, and start right there with Hayward.
Well, Cam Hayward was not at practice today, not dressed. Now, this was supposed to be a rest day, a planned day. This is something that Mike Tomlin has done for Cam Hayward in the past, but it doesn't change the fact that Cam Hayward still has been looking for an adjustment to his contract that hasn't gotten done. And with the regular season opener coming up Sunday against the Jets, this situation bears watching. This is a defensive captain. This is a popular player. This is a productive player. We'll see how this situation resolves itself. Meanwhile, Jacoby Myers wants a raise with the Las Vegas Raiders. The two sides have had some mild discussions. Nothing's gotten done. We'll see if anything can. He's headed into the last year of his current contract. And also, the Raiders had Amari Cooper retire on Thursday as well. So a couple of wide receiver questions have emerged for the Las Vegas Raiders as they get ready to open the season Sunday in New England against Mike Vrabel and the Patriots.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers saying this week they're looking at me to see if they want me here. I'm looking at them to see if I want to be here. We're kind of doing the same thing, and we'll see how this all plays out. We did have some news, though, Shefty, this afternoon. The Giants are selling a 10% stake of the team. What more can you tell us?
Well, listen, when they initially purchased the team, Wellington Mara, he paid between $500 and $2,500, El. Now they've sold a portion of the team, 10% of the team, for about $1 billion. That means this team has been valued at $10 billion, which is way more than the Washington Commanders paid just a few years ago when Josh Harris paid $6.05 billion. The price of these franchises has gone way up, and there's no reason some of these teams aren't willing to consider taking some of that money off the table. So the Mara and Tisch families still retain 90% control of the New York Giants. They've given up 10%, but in return for that 10%, they get back $1 billion, a nice, hefty return on the investment that Wellington Mara once made for $500 to between $500 and $2,500 in this team when he initially bought it.
Yeah, that's a real nice return on investment. As the rappers like to say, yesterday's prices ain't today.
9 running backs to go over 2,000. The reason why those two play a role.
That's how you come to work.
Yeah.
That's how you show up to
Jordan
work.
Mailata,
Shorts and a
Landon
t-shirt.
Dickerson, all business and ready to go as the Eagles get ready to open up the season at home against the Cowboys to open up the 2025 NFL season. You just heard Booger McFarland, 2-time Super Bowl champ, and the man of South Philly, that is Sal Palantonio, joining us here, getting us ready. And Sal, by the way, has been up since 4 in the morning, getting us ready for this game. You were at a tailgate at 5:45 as the fans are getting ready to come into the link. How would you describe the atmosphere here heading into this game tonight?
Kevin, you grew up here. You know what it's like. Hey, Book, we don't do pomp and circumstance in Dallas week. We do madness and mayhem.
Yes.